I guess you love movies. I do too. Hi guys, and welcome back to another movie review, and today we are going to be talking about Star Wars The Last Jedi. I watched it last night at around sort of 5:30 in the evening with a few of my friends. Obviously this is one of the most anticipated films of the year so far. I am a big Star Wars fan. I'm a huge fan of just movies in general. Star Wars I love. I have for quite a long time. But I'm not a fanboy, you know. I'm able to watch these films with insight into other films and realise that, you know, even though they're Star Wars movies, they're not every movie's going to be perfect. But going into this film, I definitely had high expectations. I really enjoy The Force Awakens a lot. I think that, yes, it's very similar to A New Hope in a lot of ways, but overall it brought together some great new characters, and I really enjoyed that film a lot. I think that Rogue One, however, is a weaker film, and I think that it definitely has a lot of structural issues. The characters, for example, aren't particularly interesting in the film, and I probably don't like it as much as when I actually reviewed it. And I haven't watched it since I saw it in theatres. So, going into this movie, I was expecting great things. The trailer doesn't really show you much, and that's great. You know, it leaves it up to your own sort of interpretation of what's going to happen, and I'm not really going to go into the plot too much because a lot of things happen, and a lot of things happen that, you know, similar beats of other Star Wars films, but also things that you've never seen before in a Star Wars movie. Very unexpected stuff happens in this film. But what I really enjoyed in this film specifically, the action sequences are absolutely unbelievable. This is a brilliant action movie. The first dogfight, the first space battle in this movie is absolutely unbelievable. It's a brilliant scene. It's one of the best space battles in all of Star Wars, I think. It's so incredibly exciting to watch, and I enjoyed every single moment of that opening scene. There is also, right at the end of the film, one of the last scenes in the movie, there's this fabulous scene on a salt planet, which I really liked a lot. There was a lot of beautiful visuals in that scene, and I did like it. A significant amount. The action is excellent. Is excellent in this film once again. I really enjoyed the action in Force Awakens and in Rogue One. And once again, I enjoyed the action here. I thought it was fantastic. I also enjoyed all the performances from all of the main characters. I thought that Daisy Ridley was absolutely fantastic again as Rey. I thought she gave a great performance, developed her character even more. I thought that Mark Hamill gave a really good performance as Luke. You know, this is the first time he's played Luke in a long time, and I thought he was really good in the film. He takes a little bit of time to warm up into the role, but I think after a while he's really good in the film, and he kind of has a lot more humour in his performance, and I really enjoyed his performance a lot. I thought that arguably the best performance in the entire film actually comes from Adam Driver as Kylo Ren in this movie. And again, they develop him so much. He has so much depth of character in this movie. In The Force Awakens, they give him quite a lot of time to build him up as a character. And he's very different to a lot of the villains that we've seen in Star Wars. He's very conflicted. And again, I really enjoyed his performance. I think they just, you know, add on more and more depth to his character as this series is going along. And I'm really enjoying where they're taking his character. The movie has a lot of twists and turns. I enjoy a lot of the decisions that were made in this film in terms of going to places that maybe you wouldn't expect, you know, looking at different parts of the Star Wars world that maybe we haven't looked at in that sort of light before. I think Rian Johnson has an interesting vision and kind of looks at how we look at, it's not so black and white as we see the Star Wars world of Jedis and Sith. You know, equally they have equally done bad things, and that kind of mindset that some of the characters have in this film is very interesting to me, and I really enjoyed that part of the movie. But as I said, this is a very good film, great action, great characters, but there are definitely problems with this movie. This is not a perfect film by a long way, and there are two significant problems I have. The first one is kind of a small issue, but it kind of sorry about the cough, I have a cold. It's getting a little bit better, but I will cough probably, as you would probably have already known throughout this video. As I was saying, right at the end of this movie, there was a shot in The Force Awakens that I didn't particularly like. It was the use of a helicopter shot. That was the final shot of The Force Awakens, and I thought that it was completely out of place. It didn't really work at all. I felt like they could have done a more close, tighter shot in that scene. I felt like it kind of I don't know, it took all of the emotion out of the scene. It kind of blew it out too far. And this final shot in this movie is just so weird and cheesy, and it's like, my mates and me were talking about it, and it's pretty much like an ad. It felt like a recruitment ad. And I won't talk to you too much about the scene, but it seems so out of place right at the end, and I don't really like it at all. I think it can be completely removed from the film, and it would be a significantly better movie overall. But the main problem that I have with this film is what they do with Finn in this movie. Now, I really like Finn. I think John Boyega is great as his character. I think he's very charismatic and entertaining. I enjoy him a lot. Enjoyed him a lot in The Force Awakens. And I still enjoy him in this movie. He's still entertaining to watch while he's on screen. He has a relationship with this new character called Rose. And again, she's fine. There's nothing really wrong with her specifically. But it's just the storyline that he has in this film. The story arc and the places that he goes in this movie. At first, it seems like a vital thing to the plot, what he's doing. It seems like he has to do what he's doing. Otherwise, you know, the Resistance are going to be in really big trouble. But then, in a scene, which is a really good scene, by the way, it's one of the best in the movie, and does something unexpected that we haven't ever seen in Star Wars before, with a character that we haven't really, is new to this film, is Laura Dern's character, and this scene negates the entire purpose of Finn's plotline, Finn and Rose's plotline. Once you realise that this plan that she has, the Laura Dern's character, actually is fine, as soon as you realise this, it completely negates the entirety of Finn's storyline. It's like he doesn't actually... all of that stuff he was doing is completely irrelevant now. It completely negates that fact, and it really doesn't work for me. And that's the problem with... the main problem with this film, is I don't really see where Finn fits into this movie. He doesn't seem to have a good place to be. He doesn't really have a very necessary plot. And that's the problem. I don't really know where they're going to go with him. I feel like they're probably building him up for some sort of climax at some point, but we will see. I just didn't think that they really dealt with him and used him in a very efficient way in this film, and that was my main issue with the film overall. I really enjoyed The Last Jedi. I thought it was very good. I thought it was a very good Star Wars movie, very entertaining, great action, and I really enjoyed a lot of the performances. However, there are a few plot points and a few scenes I felt like were irrelevant or badly used, and Finn is definitely poorly used in this film. I feel like his plot is very fillery, and once you realise the insignificance of it, it kind of negates the entire purpose of his involvement in the film. Overall, I did enjoy this movie, and I am going to give Star Wars The Last Jedi an 8 out of 10. So there you go, that's my review of Star Wars The Last Jedi. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, like, subscribe, drop your comments down in the section below. Have you seen this movie yet? If you did, what do you think about it? I know it's been very divisive. I've seen a lot of other reviews, and the comment sections are very, very divisive. A lot of people absolutely hate this movie, a lot of people really like it. I enjoy it, but there are definitely flaws in this film. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Goodbye.